Alright, we've got a video here from Hillel. We're going to watch 3 of his lifts. We're looking for form and weakness analysis. So first up, we've got his squat here, which we're going to check out now. We're going to jump ahead to the actual squatting. Alright, so when it comes to form, your form is okay. You seem to be wearing tennis shoes, if I can't really see clearly. So if they are shoes for weightlifting, that's good. If not, then you may want to check those and see about getting some better shoes. And we'll come back to that when we get to the part about weakness analysis. As far as the rest of your form, I don't see anything that definitely needs to be changed, at least not from this angle. In the future, if you could get one from like a 3/4 front angle, that could be helpful, just in seeing things from a little bit better perspective. From what I see, you have long thigh bones in relation to your torso, so going slightly wider might be helpful in terms of just mechanics, but it's hard to tell for sure, and we won't know for sure unless we see that unless we see some better strength from a wider stance. So based on what I see so far, I don't see anything that I really want you to change about your technique in terms of like mechanically how things are going. What I do see in terms of, and this kind of goes back to weakness as well, you just don't seem totally comfortable with the movement, which is not uncommon given somebody at your training age. The more we do this, the more comfortable you'll get and the more refined the movement will be. Otherwise, the thing that I notice about your squat is that you're a little bit, you could be a little bit tighter through your midsection. Just really focus on being strong in the hole. Don't let that weight collapse you in the hole. It's really subtle. It's not a big problem. It's not something I would consider to be a major error or anything like that. It's just something that's really minor. Otherwise, when it comes to weakness, it's difficult to tell on a lift like this. What you'll want to do is wait until we have a 1 rep max and then send in a video like that, and we'll get a much better weakness analysis from that. In the meantime, just the general strength, the stuff that's in the program already is going to be great for somebody like you. Alright, I want to move on to your bench video. Alright, this is a feet up bench. This is not going to be useful in terms of determining a weak range of motion. This is a special exercise. We have to analyze a heavy competition lift to get a good idea of what your weak range of motion is. This is one way to do it. You can actually put your feet down on the bench, or if you're like me, you can even rest your feet on the ground. You just don't tuck them under you. You don't put your feet flat on the floor. You kick them out so that you're not getting any leg drive. You don't actually have to curl your feet up like you have them. By doing so, it can make it hard to balance. Actually, I put my feet on the floor. I just have kicked my feet out as far in front of me as possible. I'll publish a video of me doing this movement at some point in the future so you can kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about. Otherwise, yeah, same sort of thing. I can see that just general familiarity and comfort with the movement is something that's going to be big for you as you develop. For now, what we've got in the program is going to be just fine for you. Now let's take a look at your deadlift. Alright. Here we could use a little bit of work. You're starting with the bar, or you let the bar get pretty far away from you on the way down. It doesn't look heavy to you, but because you let the bar get so far away from you on the way down, it takes a long time and a lot of effort to reset. So keep that bar a little bit in closer. Now onto the meat of the lift. it's not bad. You could, again, use some more tightness. So I have a video on using the lats in the deadlift. Watch that. That's something that's going to be very applicable for a lifter like you. It's going to help you to maintain your back position. You start with a flat back in your first couple reps, but then as the set goes on, you get progressively more and more rounded. This is something else that you're going to want to look at and take careful consideration of. In this video, I can see your shoes more clearly, and they are just, I guess, standard street shoes. It would be better if you could get some sort of athletic shoe that's for lifting weights, or that would be useful for lifting weights. A wrestling shoe works fine if you're looking for something flat, but we've talked about shoes in the past, so you can check some of that stuff out and see what my recommendations are on shoes. In terms of weak range of motion, again, this is probably your cleanest lift in terms of just familiarity with the movement. So it looks good in that regard. Again, it's going to take a fairly heavy single before we can definitively tell weaknesses, but I'm thinking for you it's probably going to be a back weakness. It's probably going to be spinal erectors, but it's going to be a little bit before we can tell that for sure.